Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is truly a great day in the city of Selma, and we are so thankful to have all of you all that are here on today. Again, we truly want to thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedules, from your busy lives, to gather with us here on today. Again, we have so many people that we would like to thank on today, but before we get started, we would like to thank the Powerhouse team. We have some powerhouse members that are here on today that have driven from all over the state to be here with us on today. So we're going to ask them if they would actually come at this time to start us off, and of course, and then we would actually come behind them. But first off, we would like to thank, of course, Minority Leader Anthony Daniels for being here on today, Minority Caucus Chair Ms. Barbara Drummond, and of course, Representative Kevin Lawrence. They are all here on today. Again, they have driven great miles to be with us on today. We're going to ask them to come and open up our program on today. And again, for them, we just want them to come and have a few words at this time.
Thank you. Good morning again. It's certainly an honor to be here for such a very special occasion. I know that we have some other elected officials that are here, local officials, so we certainly appreciate the team effort that the entire community has here in the city of Selma for this special occasion around our friend and colleague, Representative Prince Chestnut. Those of you that may or may not be familiar with what we call him in the Alabama House of Representatives, we call him the Fresh Prince of Selma. and so today it's one of the many things that Representative Chestnut believes in. He loves Selma, he loves Dallas County, he loves his district. But one of the things that he talked about often, especially during the aftermath of the tornadoes, he was able to bring the Speaker of the House and other leaders from across the state of Alabama into Selma, into Dallas County, to really see and witness the damage on the ground firsthand. Oftentimes you see the news report that talks about Autauga and other counties that throughout the state of Alabama about the storm damage and assessing the damage. But Representative Prince Chestnut brought all of the leaders into this community to see it firsthand. And so he was able to convince them that, you know, there are needs in Selma that's greater than just the tornado damage, but he was able to convince them of the needs in Selma in general and talk about it from a historical standpoint. And so all of us got on board quickly to make certain that we are adhering to what Mr. Chestnut wanted us to do. And so many of us that will come up and speak, all of us serve on the Education Trust Fund Budget Committee. And that is the committee that really controls the purse in Montgomery. And so Representative Prince Chestnut talked about the needs for Selma, especially the school system and rebuilding, and among other investments for this local community. And so we supported Representative Chestnut, but I will tell you, you guys are very fortunate to have a representative like Prince. Prince is someone that's highly respected across the state of Alabama and those that know him across the country. He's a fighter. He's going to always stand up for his community. He sees things that others can't see. Oftentimes we're in the Alabama House of Representatives playing checkers or playing chess, but Prince is playing 3D chess because he's able to see the next 5 or 6 moves while we're all working on what's in front of us. And so he's an advocate for education, he's an advocate for children, he's an advocate for community. And so we're just very fortunate and very blessed to have him in the Alabama House of Representatives. And I'm just happy to be a part of the team, play a small role in this accomplishment. And so thank you guys for having me here, but Prince is the hero today. He's the one that's delivering the good. He's Santa today, but he's been Santa for a long time in this community. And just, so I pushed him to, hey, Prince, we gotta let people know about the things that you do. And so this is one example of that. This guy doesn't sleep. I get calls from him at midnight sometime or 6 o'clock in the morning. And so this guy is a real champion for this community. I know that from a family standpoint, his family's really set some strong roots, and he's continuing to carry the torch for his family and for this community. And so we're very blessed to have you, and thank you. Next we'll have our caucus chair, my partner in crime, from the great city of Mobile, Alabama, caucus chair, Ms. Barbara Drummond.
Good morning to my minority leader, one of the greatest young men in the state of Alabama. So I want you to remember his name because I've already professed that he's going higher. Representative Anthony Daniels. He is the youngest minority leader that we've ever had in the state of Alabama. And as one who stands in the trenches with him, he's one of the greatest. But I came and I laughed this morning and I told Representative Chestnut, I got up at 6 o'clock this morning. I do a lot of things for a lot of people, but now I don't get up at 6 o'clock. But for Representative Chestnut, I did, because I was in the trenches with this man. And Selma, I want you all to know that you have sent somebody to Montgomery that will fight like he has never fought before. I am fortunate enough, when I went to bed last night, I have a daughter that practices law in Atlanta, and she's actually the classmate of Representative Chestnut, and she told me, she said, Mom, when he got elected, she said, you got a professor. You got one who stands tall on history, one who has knowledge base that is beyond many of his age. And as I got to know him, when we were on ETF together, as Representative Daniels said, when the tornado hit Selma, Prince sent me, I think, about 10 text messages. I didn't respond, so he picked up the phone and all he said, Barbara, Selma's torn up. So when they talked about having a $2.7 billion surplus, Prince said, we're going to get some of that money to Selma. And I like the way that he did it. He built relationships. And then he set a plan. And so when the budget was being put together, Prince said, I got this little bit of information and the superintendent can understand. Prince started blowing your text message up. And he had a plan and he said, by any means necessary, we're going to get some money for the Selma schools. So Selma, I want you all to applaud this young man. As the leader said, he is our hero today. I stand in the trenches with him. I've been on trips with him. I've gotten to know his wife and his children. Everybody talked about who we give thanks to, but I can tell you this young man not only gives thanks to God, but he is proud of the place that he calls home, Selma, Alabama. So I applaud you, Representative Chris Chestnut. I now turn the mic over to who I call, he called Representative Chestnut Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Well, his cohort, which we call his neighbor in the black belt, in the black belt, if he's called a Fresh Prince, you better look out, because the other guy is right behind him, Representative Kelvin Lawrence.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning. I'm amongst what I call a whole lot of friends, some family. Representative Chestnut and I, we go back a long ways. Prince is one of those guys that when you need him, he's there. He calls sometimes you don't want to hear from him, because that's just who Prince is. He's an advocate for not only Selma, for the black belt. And so that's why I'm here as an advocate for the black belt as well. I represent House District 69, which covers Lowndes, Wilcox, Target, and Montgomery counties. And we always kind of talk to each other about how we can make the black belt better. And I think having that collaborative effort, not only having him as a colleague, but a true friend, I think it goes a long way for us continuing to push forward to make sure that we represent the black belt, and we continue to make sure we improve on the quality of life of the people that we represent. And this is just a true testament of Prince's efforts and how we continue to help not only Selma, but as well as the black belt. But today, it's not about the black belt. It's not about anything but Selma. And that's a major contribution to Representative Prince Chestnut. So you guys should be proud, and we're definitely proud of him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this time, we're going to also ask our state representative, Dr. Tanya Chestnut, if she would also come at this time.
the other day and said, listen, I need you to be here. I actually changed my schedule. I had something else scheduled, but I am so excited to see what's happening here in Selma. We have experienced great loss here, but it's good to know that we have voices at the table that will stand up and speak out for what we call our good old Selma. And so I count it an honor to celebrate with you on this great contribution today. Thank you, Representative Chestnut. Thank you to all of the other representatives that are here to support him, but also to show and to share your commitment to the Black Belt in Alabama. Thank you.
Again, we are truly, truly thankful for all of you all being here on today. I would like to say, of course, that we are gathered here on today as a result, of course, of the devastating tornado that actually swept across our city back in January. That tornado caused millions of dollars in damages, uprooted lives, changed lives for many years to come. And as with any disaster, and as with resilient and determined people, you gather up your savage belongings, you make up your mind to rebuild, and you set out on a path to do just that. Over the past 5 months, we've set out on a course to rebuild, and although extremely challenging at times, we've made great progress. We've gathered our belongings, we picked up the debris, we moved an entire school, the School of Discovery, and we combined it with R.B. Hudson, and we did it in only 2 weeks, thanks to some incredible employees. We've torn off damaged roofs, we're currently replacing them. We've picked up large trees, we've replaced windows, HVAC systems, and we've done just so much more. But most importantly, we provided help and support to so many of our scholars and their families. However, as we all know, that there's a process to rebuilding. There's a process to starting over. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes resilience, but most importantly, it takes money. And after you have completed all of the necessary phone calls with the various insurance companies, after you have completed all of the paperwork, you soon discover that in some cases, you will find a gap. And in our case, we found a $1.7 million gap.
Wow.
And that gap, of course, we knew that it needed to be filled. So in this role, of course, I've learned that you have to have certain people on speed dial. And one person that is definitely on my speed dial is Representative Prince Chestnut. But he's better known today as our gap filler. After some phone calls and meetings, and us giving him everything that he needed, he went to work. And on today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that the gaps in Selma City Schools, that those gaps have been filled. We are so forever grateful for the assistance from our wonderful state leaders that you all have heard from on today. We are especially again thankful for our representative, Prince Chestnut, for his extraordinary leadership, commitment, and dedication to Selma City Schools and for helping to solve, again, our financial crisis. Representative Chestnut, as I've said before, and I said to you here publicly, you are the best to ever do it. I've had the pleasure of working with many legislators over these past years, but again, you are the most tenacious man that I have ever seen, and it has been an absolute pleasure working with you. As I've told you before, I have been so accustomed to just being thankful for the $5,000 checks, for the $10,000 checks, and I've stood up and I've smiled from ear to ear. I don't even know if I have enough smiles in me to smile. I have never smiled this big. And in our phone calls, of course, and when you told me again, I was just thinking, of course, maybe $20,000, $30,000. Again, I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine, but we are so thankful for you. I know, of course, more than that, you couldn't have pulled off such a huge feat alone. It takes partnership, collaboration, and a whole lot of gives and takes. You have worked across the aisle. You have mastered the political dynamics. So again, I say thank you, I say thank you to you, I say thank you to your team, but most importantly, I say thank you to the Powerhouse team that is actually here on today. Thanks to Minority Leader Anthony Daniels, thanks to Minority Caucus Leaders Chair Barbara Drummond and Representative Kevin Lawrence, as well as I would like to thank, of course, our own Selma Mayor James Perkins that is not able to be here with us on today. So again, on behalf of our outstanding board members that are here on today, Board Member Moss, Board Member Wooten, Board Member Hauser, Board Member Miles, and of course Board Member Obama who was not able to be here with us on today. And of course on behalf of the wonderful employees, the scholars and families that we represent, we say thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at this time, of course, we would like to bring the man of the hour. We would like to bring the man that is able to bring the funds to Selma City. We would like to thank our very own, please join me in recognizing and asking to come forth our very own Representative Prince Chestnut.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say first, thank you to Leader Daniels. Thank you to Chair Drummond. Thank you to Representative Lawrence. We are the 4 Democrats that sit on the Education Trust Fund Committee. And we have to support each other.
Yes, yes.
And thankfully, we are for the best choices to serve on that committee because, for one, we're from northern part of the state, southern part of the state, and the central part of the state. So there's not anything that we don't hear about or that we don't know about that needs to happen in the realm of education. And so I just thank you guys so much for being supportive and being sounding boards as we work through these complex problems that we deal with education, and especially trying to make sure that people in our communities are not left out when it's time to dispense with the funding. And if we are not together, we can't make anything happen. Because I don't know if you've heard, but out of the 105 legislators that serve in the House of Representatives, only 25% are on our side of the aisle. So we have to be very diligent. We have to work really, really hard. We have to know our facts. We have to know our information, our evidence, our data, our statistics. Because if we come in a way that isn't at the highest level, we're not going to get anything done. That's just the way it is. And so with this process, it goes all the way back to when the tornado hit in January. When it hit, I was literally on my phone texting the governor's office, texting various legislative leaders, and even making phone calls. And I was calling the governor's office and contacting them so much that one of the representatives said to me, "Well, look, we can't move that fast. we gotta wait until we get an assessment." I said, "Well, I don't know what y'all waiting on because this is a disaster. This is a bona fide natural disaster." And that's very important because you have to get that declaration from the governor's office in order for there to be the possibility for funding and to get that, that state and federal help. And so once we were able to get that done, the next step was making sure that we worked to get the funding from the Education Trust Fund budget. And so I had to figure out how do we do it, because the Education Trust Fund is committed to educational endeavors. So it cannot be used for anything. We can't take state money and give it to private citizens. We can't give it to private companies or businesses. It has to have a unique educational public impact. And so knowing that and trying to, and I start running the different scenarios in my mind about how we can make this happen, how we can help Selma. And then I contacted the superintendent and I said, do you have any storm or tornado damage to any of your institutions? And then he said yes. And then he named the institutions. And I said, okay. And then I went to work. And for those who serve on the ETF with me, they will know I went to my Chairman Danny Garrett. And I went to him. Everybody who knows Danny is he's a numbers guy. He's the CFO for corporation for many, many years. Very, very intelligent guy. But Danny is all about numbers. And I went to him and I kind of said, hey, need help put out a figure? And he's like, hey, you don't have to give me the data, you have to give me the information, assessment, etc. So at that point, I knew next step I had to get with the superintendent. And I contacted the superintendent. I said, superintendent, this is what I'm going to need. And I kind of went down the line of some things that I think I needed. And he said, I'll get right on it. And he got right on it. We're really blessed to have a superintendent that actually responds in a very appropriate and timely manner to get you accurate information. Because one thing I want people to understand is that as a legislator, as a representative, I can only help at the local level to the extent that the leadership at the local level helps themselves to get me the information so that I can help the entire community. If I don't get the information, then I can't present it in an accurate format for the folks in Montgomery. It's not going to happen. So we have a superintendent who is who follows directives and knows how to get information and has a good staff. He hired a good staff. So I'm thankful for that, because if you and your staff had not compiled the information that I needed, this would not be possible. And so at that point we took it, and I took that information, and I didn't hear anything from my chairman. And so I was thinking, oh man, that might be bad, because he hadn't said anything. But then we had a meeting, which was the meeting that we have before everything goes public. And I saw that that we were in the we were on the list. And at first we were on the list for about, I think, 1.2 million. And I was extremely excited about that. But then a week went by. The chairman, I went to his office because I was like, well, I hadn't heard anything. So I went by his office, and he was meeting with the leader of the ETF in the Senate. And then he comes out, he talks to me, and he says, Prince, and we said 1.2 in the beginning, but we're going to bump you up. We're going to take it up about 400 or 500. And so I'm thankful for, Chairman Danny Garrett, also the Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter, who's been supportive. He formerly sat on the ETF before he became Speaker, and he's been a valuable asset to this community and helping all Alabamians And so we just have a situation where we have highly competent, highly skilled folks that are serving right now in leadership. And when you have that, you have an opportunity to make Alabama better. And so today, I'm thankful and grateful that I have such a strong team to work with me. And I'm thankful and grateful that we have great leadership in the state of Alabama, and as particularly in the House of Representatives, and in the legislature. And thankful to Governor Ivey because she still had to sign it to make it law. And so as we attempt to recover, because it is a long-term process, as we attempt to recover from this storm and from the damage that we have experienced, let us remember our neighbors. Let us make sure that those who go without, that we help them and we assist them in the best way that we can with whatever tools that we have available. Everybody's not a state representative, but everybody's got some talent that they can use to help someone else. And if we do that, we can build a much stronger community, and we can come out of this thing better than before. And so I thank you for showing up today, but the work still continues. We have to keep pushing. We have to keep doing the best that we can to provide, particularly for our children. Because like they say in the church, if you go to the church and there are no children, the church is dying. So we have to look out for the children, and we have to give them the tools that they need to be successful, so that they, when they finish school, they can come back here and they can take care of Selma when you and I get old. So everything is about the children. Thank you.
And again, of course, we are so incredibly thankful for all of you all that have taken time out of your busy schedules to be here with us on today. Again, I would like to thank our wonderful employees that are here to represent over 2,500 children, of course, many, many more families in Selma. Again, thank you all so much for everything that you do for our children. Thank you all so much for everything that you do for our families. And again, especially to our wonderful guests, to our new powerhouse family, our powerhouse team. We thank you all so much. And now that you have arrived here in Selma, we want you to continue to visit Selma. We want you to continue to represent Chestnut, as they say, bring the bacon right on back home. We know that you got the powerhouse team to do it. We've seen what you have been able to do in just a short time. So just imagine what we can do on next year. So we're going to already put this up in place. So we're looking forward to, again, a bigger check. This is the biggest check that I've ever seen. We're looking forward to a bigger check on next year. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Again, thank you all so much for the news media. Thank you again to our wonderful board members that are here on today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this concludes our press conference. Thank you all again.